കേരള അഡ്മിനിസ്ട്രേറ്റീവ് സർവീസ് പ്രിലിമിനറി എക്സാമിനേഷൻ്റെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽഡ് സിലബസാണ് ഇന്നത്തെ വീഡിയോയിൽ ഉൾക്കൊള്ളിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. പേപ്പർ ഫസ്റ്റ് ജനറൽ സ്റ്റഡീസ്, ഹിസ്റ്ററി, ഇന്ത്യൻ ഹിസ്റ്ററി ആൻഡ് കേരള ഹിസ്റ്ററി, ഏൻഷ്യൻ്റ് ആൻഡ് മിഡീവൽ പീരീഡ്, സാലിയൻറ്റ് ഫീച്ചേഴ്സ് ആൻഡ് മേജർ ലാൻഡ്മാർക്സ് ഓഫ് ഏൻഷ്യൻ്റ് ആൻഡ് മിഡീവൽ ഇന്ത്യ, ആർട്ട്, കൾച്ചർ, ലിറ്ററേച്ചർ ആൻഡ് ആർക്കിടെക്ചർ, മേജർ ഡൈനാസ്റ്റീസ്, their administrative system, social, religious and economic conditions, prominent movements. Modern period, modern Indian history from the 8th century up to the present, significant events, personalities and issues, India struggle for independence, social and religious reform movement in the 19th and 20th century, India after independence, post-independent consolidation and reorganization, independent India and her neighbors. Kerala history from 18th century, pre-independence socio-political movements, formation of Kerala state political parties, movements, governments, landmark legislation and policies. History of the world from mid-18th century, industrial revolution, world war, withdrawal of national boundaries, colonization and decolonization, globalization, communism, capitalism, socialism, their forms and effects in society. Cultural heritage of Kerala, cultural heritage of Kerala, art forms, literature, sculpture, architecture, salient features of society. And Kerala tribal culture, pilgrimage, tourist place, folk culture, cinema, theatre. 3. History and revolution of Malayalam language and literature. Indian Constitution, public administration, political system, governance, social justice and international relations. അതിൽ വരുന്നത് ഇന്ത്യൻ കോൺസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ്സ് സാലിയൻ ഫീച്ചേഴ്സ്, ഫങ്ഷൻസ് ആൻഡ് റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റീസ് ഓഫ് ദ യൂണിയൻ ആൻഡ് ദ സ്റ്റേറ്റ്സ്, പാർലമെൻറ്റ് ആൻഡ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ലെജിസ്ലേച്ചർ, സ്ട്രക്ചർ, ഫങ്ഷൻ, പവർ ആൻഡ് പ്രിവിലേജസ്, ഇഷ്യൂസ് ആൻഡ് ചലഞ്ചസ് pertaining to federal structure, devolution of power and finances up to local levels and challenges therein. Constitutional authorities, powers, functions and responsibilities, Panchayati Raj, public policy and governance, impact of LPG on governance, statutory, regulatory and quasi-judicial bodies, rights issues, human rights, women rights, SC/ST rights, child rights, etc. Important acts, India's foreign policy, international organization, international treaties and forums, their structure and mandate. Judiciary in India, structure and functions, important provisions relating to emergency and constitutional amendments, judicial review, public interest litigation, land revenue laws, fundamental rights, fundamental duties and directive principles of administrative law. അടുത്തത് റീസണിങ്, മെൻ്റൽ എബിലിറ്റി ആൻഡ് സിമ്പിൾ അരിത്തമെറ്റിക്. 1. ലോജിക്കൽ റീസണിങ് ആൻഡ് അനലിറ്റിക്കൽ എബിലിറ്റി, number series, coding, decoding, problems related to relations, shapes and their subsections, Venn diagram, problems based on clock, calendar and age, simple arithmetic. അടുത്തത് ജോഗ്രഫി, ജനറൽ ജോഗ്രഫി, സോളാർ സിസ്റ്റം, മോഷൻ ഓഫ് എർത്ത്, കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ടൈം, സീസൺസ്, internal structure of the earth, major landforms and their features, atmosphere structure and composition, elements and factors of climate, air masses and fronts, atmospheric disturbances, oceans, physical, chemical and biological characteristics, hydrological disasters, marine and continental resources, physical, social, economic geography of world, India and Kerala, geophysical phenomena like earthquake, tsunami, volcanoes, cyclone, flood, landslides. Paper 2, General Studies 2, Economy and Planning, Indian Economy on the Eve of Independence, Indian Economy in Post-Reform Period, New Economic Reforms, Niti Aayog, National Income and Per Capita Income, Sectoral Composition, Primary, Secondary and Tertiary, development under different policy, including 5-year plans, goals, constraints, institutions, and policy framework. Agriculture sector, land reforms in India, technological change in agriculture, major crops, cropping patterns in various parts of the country, irrigation, pricing of agricultural inputs and outputs, agricultural finance policy and marketing, issues in food security and public distribution system, green revolution, policies for sustainable agriculture and organic farming. Industrial policy, public sector enterprises and their performance, growth and pattern of industrialization, small scale sector, productivity in industrial sector, cess and industrialization, foreign investment and competition policy, e-commerce, effect of liberalization on the economy. Infrastructure in Indian economy, meaning and importance of infrastructure, water supply and sanitation, energy and power, science and technology, rural and urban infrastructure, ports, road, airport, railways, telecommunication, dams, inland waterways, social impact assessment. Trends and patterns in structure of population over time, growth rate, gender, rural, urban migration, literacy, regional structure and trends of poverty and inequality, unemployment, trends, structure and national rural employment policies, indicators of development, physical quality of life index, human development index, human poverty index, gender development index, national happiness index. ആറാമത്തെ ഇന്ത്യൻ പബ്ലിക് ഫിനാൻസ്, ഗവൺമെൻറ് ബഡ്ജറ്റിംഗ്, ഇന്ത്യൻ ടാക്സ് സിസ്റ്റം, പബ്ലിക് എക്സ്പെൻഡിച്ചർ, പബ്ലിക് deficit and subsidies in the Indian economy, center-state financial relation, recent fiscal and monetary policy issues and their impact, structure of Indian banking and non-banking financial institutions and reforms, GST, concept and implications, stock exchange and share market. Trend composition, structure and direction of India's foreign trade, India's balance of payments situation in post-reforms period. 8. Economy of Kerala state and overview, population, major agriculture, industry, service sector issues, infrastructure and resources, major development projects, programs and schemes, cooperative sector, history and relevant policies in traditional industries, IT sector, Pravasi and foreign remittance. 9. Kerala model development, land reforms, social security, devolution of power, decentralized planning, housing, tourism, women empowerment, social welfare schemes, disaster management, role and function of Kerala Planning Board, achievements of Kerala in health and education sector, policies, programs, initiatives and impacts. അടുത്തത് സയൻസ് ആൻഡ് ടെക്നോളജി. സയൻസ് ആൻഡ് ടെക്നോളജി, നേച്ചർ ആൻഡ് സ്കോപ്പ് ഓഫ് സയൻസ് ആൻഡ് ടെക്നോളജി, റെലവൻസ് ഓഫ് S&T, national policy on S&T and innovations, basics of everyday science, human body, public health and community medicine, food and nutrition, health care. Institutes and organization in India promoting integrations of S&T and innovations, their activities and contribution of prominent Indian scientists. 2. ICT, nature and scope of ICT in day-to-day life, ICT and industry, ICT and governance, various government schemes promoting use of ICT, e-governance programs and services, cyber security concerns, national cyber crime policy, artificial intelligence, benefits and impacts of robotics. Technology in space and defense, evolution of Indian space program, ISRO, its activities and achievements, various satellite programs, DRDO, vision, mission and activities. Energy requirement and efficiency, India's existing energy needs and deficit, India's energy resources and dependence, renewable and non-renewable energy resources, energy policy of India, government policies and programs, energy security and nuclear policy of India. Environmental science, issues and concerns related to environment, its legal aspects, policies and treaties for the protection of environment at the national and international level, environment protection for sustainable development, biodiversity, its importance and concerns, climate change, international initiatives and India's commitment, Western Ghats features, characteristics and issues, forest and wildlife, legal framework for forest and wildlife conservation in India, environmental hazards, pollution, carbon emission, global warming, national action, plans on climate change and disaster management, developments in biotechnology, green technology, and nanotechnology. Current events, language proficiency, English, tenses, synonyms, phrasal verb, antonyms, error, correction, adjectives, adverb, reported speech, active voice, passive voice, auxiliary verb, question tag, degree of comparison, punctuations, idioms and phrases, simple, compound, complex sentences, connectives, prepositional verbs, prepositions, concord, pronouns, word order and sentence order. Language proficiency, മലയാളം, പദശുദ്ധി, വാക്യശുദ്ധി, പരിഭാഷ, ഒറ്റപ്പദം, പര്യായം, വിപരീത പദം, ശൈലികൾ, പഴഞ്ചൊല്ലുകൾ, സമാനപദം, ചേർത്തെഴുതുക, സ്ത്രീലിംഗം, പുല്ലിംഗം, വചനം, പിരിച്ചെഴുതൽ, ഘടകപദം, ഭരണഭാഷയുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് ഒരു ഖണ്ഡിക നൽകി അതിനെ ആധാരമാക്കി ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ, ഔദ്യോഗിക ഭാഷാ പദാവലി, വിപുലനം, സംഗ്രഹം.